Hey everyone, Andrew Summers here, coming at you with some more military builds. This time I have brought with me my M1118 Vanguard Armored Security Vehicle. Now, if you know anything about the US military, and in particular the US Army, one of the vehicles they run is the M1117 Guardian Armored Security Vehicle. These vehicles are intended to fulfill a similar role. The only reason I didn't just straight up build a Guardian was because, well, those front angles are a bitch. I tried and I failed miserably. Now, this vehicle in particular, its design was actually inspired by concept art that I yet again sourced from Pinterest of a vehicle that looked like a cheese wedge. So I liked the design and I translated it into this build here. So some of the parts that make it look like a cheese wedge, you can see I'm using 1x2x3 slopes right along the front, both this side and that side. And then to fill in the mid space, I've got this slope here with some ingos. And then you can see some of the other construction consists of brackets right here to hold in the windows. Up top, you have a headlight design, and then moving to the bottom, you have a couple more headlights, turn indicators, and some bumper pieces consisting of more brackets and some clips. The wheels on this vehicle, I used to use these very often back in my early days of posting online. At the time, my scale of vehicles was a bit larger, and these were the perfect wheels to fit that scale. However, as I kept building and kept improving my stuff, the size of my vehicles changed, and so too did the wheel size. So all that to say, I don't really use these wheels all that much, but I thought they were a perfect match for the size and scale of this vehicle. The wheels themselves, they protrude a little from the design. You can see there's about a half stud difference from the sides of the vehicles to the sides of the tires. I actually like that quite a lot because I think it makes the vehicle look just a little bit more aggressive. And I think they complement this style of vehicle really well. More on these wheels, of course, since it's a land vehicle of mine, there is steering and suspension. So the rear set of wheels, a simple pendulum design that goes up and down, held in place by the steering mechanism on the front. So these just turn like so, and then they also have a little bit of up and down articulation. And while we're on the side of this vehicle, the doors fold down like so, and you can see into the cabin here. The jumper plates, this vehicle fits 3 minifigures, so you get a driver, a navigator. Can't really see too well inside, but there is an instrument panel and then a steering wheel. And then if we turn it to this side, there is space in the back for one gunner. So if we button this back up, we can now talk about that gun. So the gun here has a 50 caliber on top, and let's just say that's like a 20 millimeter main gun here. Ammo boxes made of brackets and a couple Ingo tiles. And then there is a sensor right here, which consists of a translucent green minifigure head and then a helmet. And then back to the gun, there are a set of tow missiles on the side here. So I love these olive green tiles. They look really good. Perfect for the caps on a tow missile. And then while we're over on this side, I'll also talk about some of the accoutrement. There is just a random sensor here. You got a backpack and then a couple smoke launchers that are made from binoculars and some neck brackets. Now, if we go to the very back of the vehicle, some of the stuff on here, you can see I have some mud flaps here. They're just flag pieces connected to some bars. And then you have a spare tire. The spare tire is, of course, mounted on a swing gate. So that can open, and you can see that there is room enough for maybe a minifigure and a little bit of gear. Not too much space back here. The space would be larger if not for the engine compartment, which is right here. If I didn't have the engine back here, then I can make use of all this space, but I kind of like the idea of just an engine right back here. Speaking of that engine, you can open up. So you can see there's a little bit of detail, just some printed tiles and a red plate with bar because adds a little color, and I kind of like that. And then just a final detail, like on most of my land vehicles, there is a tow hitch, though I've said this before, don't really have any trailer builds. I should work on that at some point. Maybe I will. So that's pretty much it for this vehicle. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.